Hey, do you want your child to be independent, right? Are you stopping yourself from helping your 2-year-old or your 2.5-year-old from opening the cap of the water bottle? Maybe your 2.5-year-old has walked up to you and you've somewhere again on the internet you've read this quote saying, don't do anything for a child which the child is capable of doing. Right? And then you think, no, if I keep helping, then my child will keep coming and asking me, so my child needs to be independent, so I should not help my child at this point of time. Or are you stopping yourself from helping your 3-year-old, your 3.5-year-old to untie or tie his shoelaces? Because again, somewhere you read that this is a milestone, a 3.5-year-old should be supposedly should be doing this, right? Every time I am doing it for him, how will he learn? When will he learn? Right? All these usual justifications that again something inside of you tends to give you, right? Now, and then let me not help him more, because otherwise he'll just take me for granted. He's just thinking I'm there for everything, right? If that is running in your mind, let me tell you this: nobody in this world is actually independent, right? If you think, maybe you've walked in, maybe you had an interview at a certain point of time, you had to reach a certain place, and you went there, you cleared the interview. In the evening, when you look back, you feel so proud about yourself that you did it on your own. Maybe you prepared on your own, you went there on your own, you gave the interview on your own, yes, obviously, and then you got it on your own. But let me tell you this: no person on this earth is actually working independently. If you have got success in your interview, it's not just because of what you did, but it is also because of the milkman who delivered the milk packets in your house. It also depended on the guy who picks trash from your house, on the traffic police who actually gave you a green signal when you were on your way, or maybe another traffic police who actually gave you a red signal when you were on your way, because there was certain jam already happening in that end. Maybe you took a different route because you saw a red signal here and you took a different route. Maybe you were actually complaining yourself, oh my god, why did I have to take a new route today? But maybe there was a reason there for you to take this route today, right? So again, life doesn't happen by chance, life happens by choice. So the point is this: if you were successful in that interview, it just didn't happen by your own. It happened because there were certain people doing certain things at certain times and beautifully interwoven into each other for you to get success in that interview, right? Maybe it depended on some of your family members and on your children, on your spouse, on the house help, on the community helper, on the gate watchkeeper, right? The gate watchman. Right? And then maybe the person who also drove his vehicle beside your vehicle, right? Everything matters. It's not that you are doing it on your own. Now, for any person, for that matter, even for you or for your child, what is actually required, given a challenge, given a task, or maybe the child has taken up a task, or the child is given a task, whatever it is, or you are given a task, you are taking up a task, whatever it is, right? Given a task, what is actually important is not beating yourself up saying I have to do this independently, not feeling guilty or not feeling lazy that I actually want help for everything in this from people around me. Yes, there are adults who actually just keep asking for help, I'm not saying asking for help is wrong. Whatever you are doing, you should be doing mindfully. Right? So what is important? Given a task, what is important? What is important is the kind of thinking that you have to inculcate, or your child needs to inculcate. Given a task, how much of this can be done on my own? Right? How much of it can I do on my own without taking any help? How much of this task do I need help with? Who is the right person to help me? How should I put across my request or my question to that person for that person to just help me, to get that help from that person? Yes. And then finally, how do I collate all this and finish this task and complete this task? There's a whole process, there's a whole journey that needs to be thought about in any person's mind, be it an adult or a child, right? But when the child is forced that No, there won't be people to help you. No, there won't be people to help you. The same child is now an adult and maybe there is another challenging task. I'm not saying, so am I conveying to you that you should be helping with each and everything for your child? No, that's not the meaning. Or am I conveying to you that you shouldn't be doing anything for your child? No, that's not the meaning. According to your child's physical ability, the mental state, the emotional state at that instant of time, and maybe as well as according to your emotional and mental state, according to your physical state, very importantly your physical state, maybe you have your own health issues, right? According to that, you can take a proper decision. It's not that these are the milestones and I shouldn't be helping with it. So again, now the adults of this generation, again, they are just some of them, again I'm not this is not a generalized statement obviously, but 95 to 98% or 95% of people out there, they are either just asking for every simple information around. You can see that you need something. So we actually have Google, right? We have internet that gives you tons and tons of information, but people don't even take an effort to put their question on Google. Maybe they're just asking people around. I'm not saying this is wrong, that is right. Again, be careful, okay? Be careful about this. It's about the intention. It's about the thinking ability that matters. So it is asking is a skill. Asking is a skill. Putting the right question to the right person at the right time is a skill. To do that, the prerequisite is, what is it that I need help with, right? What is it that I have to ask help for, and how much of it can I do on my own, right? So when the adult is not doing this thinking and the adult is just asking around, I think maybe it's a very easy information that's available on Google, but still the adult is asking repeatedly through various people, then again it becomes information overload, simple information overload. And then maybe there are also instances where maybe a teenager or 10-year-old, 12-year-old or another adult, you can take any example, right, where there is a task again, but that child is feeling low to ask for help, because that child was always mocked at. When the child was a 4-year-old, when that 13-year-old was a 4-year-old and he asked for help, he was mocked at. Maybe, oh my God, your brother is able to do it and you are still not able to do it. Your younger sibling is doing it but you are not able to do it. Your friend is doing it but you are not doing it, right? So that kind of shame is still present in the child who is now a 14-year-old or maybe a 24-year-old. So they don't have the courage to ask for help. Anything that they are stuck at in life, they are just stuck at. They keep themselves stuck at because they were mocked at, they were shamed, they were maybe laughed at, maybe they were judged, maybe they were pointed at, right? All these things that happened in one's childhood stay intact in the child's subconscious mind, in the child who is now an adult subconscious mind, right? So people are either overly approaching for simple information, or people are killing themselves thinking that, oh, if I ask this maybe people will laugh at me, oh, if I ask this question maybe people will say this is silly, or if I ask this maybe people will say you don't even know this, right? So it's either this extreme or this extreme. But if you would like your child to actually get into this process of thinking, of understanding what the task is, how much of it can I do on my own, how much of it I need help with, who is the right person, what is the right time to ask, how is the right way to ask, and how I can collate the entire thing to accomplish my task. There are certain things for which you need to be self-reliant upon you. There are certain things for which you need not beat yourself up, right? So there is a fine distinction between both of these, which maybe you need to be self-reliant and which maybe you can delegate, you can ask for help, right? So this is all a bunch of thinking that goes in your brain to actually decide of what are these, right? So just see to it that you implement this principle. Again, this is a principle, not again a tactic or technique, but you have to understand your child, not just physically. You also have to understand your child's mental state, emotional state, and also come into awareness of your mental state, your emotional state, your physical state, and then approach that situation accordingly. There is no one solution for all. This is a milestone. and there is a quote, you shouldn't be helping a child with what he can do, boom, I will not do that for you. That's all. You have reached that milestone, you can do it, I won't do it. No, it's yes, another solution is to approach it intuitively, is to approach that solution, is to approach that scenario in a conversation mode, right? So that is when the child's thinking ability is actually triggered and he is making use of that thinking. You remember, he is already doing the thinking. You need not do anything. I mean, you need not take the burden for him to think in this way. He is already doing that thinking. But because the parent is again not with him, or maybe the judging, or maybe pointing and blaming and shaming and labeling, and all this will lead the child, will hinder the child in his thinking ability. Right? So, remember, this world is a beautifully interwoven community. People are interdependent on each other. We have to know how much dependent can I be on this person, how much dependent can I be on this person. Maybe I don't want to take some certain kind of things from help from this person, or maybe I don't want to get into some kind of trouble issues with this person, but this person is good at something else, and maybe I need that help, and maybe I can help with something else to this person, right? That is how we also interchange our abilities, our helps, right? So that's a whole process to it, there's a whole journey to it. Just don't beat yourself up, just don't rush yourself up, rush yourself to these milestones and charts, and in this rush, don't be that parent who is not trying to understand your child, right? Once that is happening, once that's not understanding, not trusting is setting in your child's mind, in your child's subconscious, it will be very difficult to wipe it out, right? Cheers, bye-bye.